Alright, welcome back guys. So in the last video we basically completed our work on table, but I introduced two concepts which I want to explain further. That is rowspan and colspan. Now rowspan is what you use when you want a particular cell to span multiple rows within your table. So here we added a row span to the cell that has the value for email address, which is this. And what it has done is to take up this particular cell takes up 2 rows. That's what it means, right? We could ask it to take 3 rows, but we won't see the effect just because we don't have more than 2 rows. We don't have up to 3 rows, right? So if we added an extra row, that's when we would see the effect of that. Let's just do that and see. Okay, so you see it takes up 3 rows because we have 3 rows right now. Yeah, so that's how row span works. If you want your cell, if you want a particular cell to take up more space in the vertical direction, so you use row span to define multiple rows you want that cell to take up. So you can see it has a lot more space than the others, a lot more padding than the others. So that's row span. The next one is colspan. I'm gonna get rid of this just so we keep things simple. So not really this one. Oh yeah, this. Okay, so next is colspan. So we use colspan when we want to, you know, when you want a particular cell to take up multiple columns. So when you want a cell to grow in the horizontal direction, it means you want it to take up more columns, right? So you use colspan. So let's look at this table data that holdsmith at gmail.com. So we have given it a colspan of 2, which means it's taking up 2 columns. As you can see, it occupies everything from where you have phone number down to where you have last name, right? So that's colspan, like column span, like you want that cell to span multiple columns. Now because it is spanning multiple columns, it has displaced 2 columns, right? What it means is that this particular row has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? This particular row has, or this particular row has 6 columns, because in addition to this 5, you have, this one alone takes 2 columns, and then this takes 4 columns, making it 6. But remember that the table head has space to take just 5 columns, right? So remember when I said the number of columns inside the table head must correspond to the number of columns inside the table body, basically. So you have a TR in your table head, and the number of columns in that TR should correspond to the number of columns in the TR that exists within the table body, right? So to be able to fix that, we're going to need to remove this last one, and then we're also going to need to get rid of this, and that way we have exactly 2. We have our table structured again, and then taking up the right number of spaces, okay, to correspond with what we've defined in the table head, of course. All right, so I know it's going to look a lot confusing at this point, but like I said, the more you practice with this, the more the structure makes sense. So I will see you guys in the next video where we'll talk about something new entirely. I'll see you.